So, as somebody interested in the world of game development, I watch a lot of other game dev YouTubers, from big ones like Danny, who you probably know, to smaller ones like, Neat Games, who's got a new game coming out soon, which you should go check out his channel. God, I run out of breath quickly sometimes. Anyway, so I watch other people, and I realised their devlogs are far more interesting than mine, and their games are better. But then again, they're not using pygame like me. But anyway, yeah, their devlogs are better. So, and I want to make mine better as well. I'm sorry, what was the point of this bit? Not quite sure. Hey everyone, Uni here, and welcome back to another devlog of my as yet unnamed roguelite one-ism game, which I'm making in pygame. Today I'll be talking about how I implemented a bunch of new features over the past week or so into my game, including loot, upgrades, and combat improvements, to an extent. But currently, our little character has no way of getting powered up, except for their HP and the amount of ammo they're holding. So after a little bit of programming magic, we have what you're seeing on your screen right now. When an enemy dies, they now drop something. One of these little boxes, which adds some health or ammo to the player. But there are other things that could be powered up in this same way. So after some more programming magic, we now have a modifiable variable for the player. No, hold on. I now have a modifiable variable for the player class, which is referred to when damage needs to be dealt to an enemy, instead of the fixed value which was being used before. But I couldn't be bothered to make the melee combat better, so I'm delegating that to future me. But now that the damage is dictated by a variable, I can quickly do some art and use programming magic to explain more things for the third time today, and we now have an item of loot that increases the player's damage output. I might refine it into different types of damage later, but it suffices for now. And it's kinda hard to tell that one's working, so my next task is displaying enemy health, which shouldn't be too hard, but doing it in an efficient way will be. But while I was about to start work at that, me from 2 days ago came through the portal and was like, hey, make the combat system better now. So that's what I did. I started by making this just horrible diagram, which it's incredibly messy, but somehow it helped me figure out how to make a system. And then I hacked that into the game. Ooh, I still need to talk about that. After about another 2 minutes of painfully refactoring everything in all of my functions to make this work, the player class now has a melee and ranged weapon variable, which need to be objects of the new melee and ranged weapon classes respectively, which each have a measured damage, information about what to display when they're in use, and their special effect, which I'll add eventually. To some weapons, it'll be a thing. So once I got done with that and implemented it for the existing weapons, I had a genius idea. This. It's kind of hard to see with the current text colour, but a line will now appear on the screen showing what you've picked up and a description of it, which can also be used to show, say, what building you've just walked into. And with all those things out of the way, I got back to the real business, some sort of health display. My first iteration doesn't look very pleasant, but it is a health bar nonetheless, which displays an enemy's health in both its length and colour. Higher health is greener and longer, while lower health is redder and shorter. Currently it only looks like they're not on death's doors if they have a health of more than, 150. Once I make it store their full health, I can use their current health as a percentage of that to decide what the bar looks like, and not stop it from being so ridiculously long. It also helped me to realise a problem with melee attacks that I thought I'd fixed, but I'll need to add a new variable to the enemy class to actually fix it. As of writing this section, it's 3 AM on a Monday morning, and I'm just writing a bit of a to-do for future stuff for me. I just woke up and realised that I haven't refactored some parts of the player control script to use the new system I added with the weapon classes, and I'm still using a deprecated hardwiring system. It is now 8 AM, I don't remember writing that last bit, but I woke up an hour ago and I've just finished fixing it and it's stable. Hopefully. I've not quite had the time to draw all the sprites for the other weapons, meaning I can't yet test if it works under other scenarios, but I'm confident, which is usually a sign that I've got something completely overlooked. Going back to before my 3 AM to do, it's a natural next step to add a variable for enemies' full health, which was actually super easy. I just need to add a new variable to the initialization of the enemy class and use that in calculations as well. I also tweaked the level generation algorithm again. Well, kind of. I re-implemented a part of it that I don't remember removing, but have for some reason, and it was the part that added the most variation to the levels, so yeah. And it's immensely satisfying to just watch it go through loads of possible combinations, so that's what you're seeing here now. Can't breathe. The next thing I finally decided to get on with was something that I've been meaning to do for a while, which is making a save and load system. Which means remembering how to get the game to load the main menu on startup, and relearning the shelf module. Basically, the principle is, you press a button or a key, and it puts all of the important data into a file, and when you press the load button, it reads the file and puts the data in the right place. Except I don't remember anything about the module for doing it. Luckily for me, I can just take this bit of code from one of my old projects and put it in here, and bada bing, bada boom, push a button here, and we got a very big error. But after fixing that and drawing a new button, we have a very nice load function which probably works. But I currently have nothing to load, so I'll just patch that in, and now when you press the big red X in the corner, it saves your game. Or it tries to. But there are currently some errors that I don't know how to fix, so I'm once again delegating it to future me. Except I found a solution that might work. See, I was discussing it with a friend and we worked out that I can just replace the pygame.surface objects which were causing the errors with the string inside them that tells the program where to find the image file to make the .surface object. That was mouthful. And it can just run the code for making it a surface when it needs to be used as a surface. This is only temporary while I'm looking into castle and essentially saving the data type because it should cause a lot of inefficiencies doing it this new way I've figured out, but currently it's the only thing possible. And at this point I was incredibly exhausted, so I closed my computer after a long week or so of work and prepared to make the smoothest transition into an outro you have ever seen. So with that said, I'm sorry if my use of tense in this video was confusing. I was trying to make it a bit better than my previous ones, which involved writing a script as I went along, which is why it's, yeah, that's why there's some confusing bits in there. And I'm going to try to specifically not keep a schedule for these devlogs. I'm just going to make them as and when I think I've made enough progress to log. Anyway, if you put up with me this whole time, thank you very much. I love you all so much. Some more than others, maybe. And I will see you all next time. Bye! Oh, so you made it to the end of the video. Well, now there are 4 things I need you to do. I need you to go down into the description and... Hold on, no, that's not right. First thing I need you to do is subscribe to my channel and like this video. Is that 1 thing or 2 things? I don't know. Doesn't matter how many things there are, you need to do them. You need to subscribe, and then you need to join the 2 Discord servers in the description. Thanks. Also, this video is sponsored by Catholic Rage.